Joe Rogan had an old joke, which went something like this. Anti-gay people are just scared that dicks are delicious. And that really seems to be true. How many times have we seen this with, very religious people like pastors or whatever who preach against gayness all day and night, but then they get found in a New Jersey Turnpike bathroom sucking some dude off. Or Ted Haggard. He was a very famous televangelist, and then he was caught doing meth with a gay hooker in a motel room, and they were naked or something like that. Republican politicians, same thing. Usually the ones who are most loud and aggressive with their anti-gay politics. They're covering up for something. They're covering up for something. And there's been studies on this, man. Like people who, there was some study where they hooked electrode or some measuring device up to the people's dicks, and then they played them porn, and the ones who had expressed anti-gay sentiments got hard when they saw gay porn. So it's like you're not really fooling anybody. It's like how Steven Crowder goes after trans people every 7 minutes, but then there's more pictures of him online dressed up as a woman than like any other man in human history. So you're not fooling anybody, bro. You're not fooling anybody. So now we get this. This is in Rolling Stone. Conservative activist Matt Schlapp. I'll never get over that name. Matt Schlapp sounds like the sound shit makes when it hits the toilet. Allegedly groped male campaign staffer's crotch. The CPAC chief made unsolicited sexual contact with a Herschel Walker aide in Georgia, the Daily Beast and NBC News have reported. So they go on to give the details of this. Basically, this guy was a staffer for, I guess, Herschel Walker, and Matt Schlapp tried to get close to him. I think he used him to get a ride or whatever, and Schlapp took this guy to a couple bars and was clearly invading his personal space a little bit, and the dude was uncomfortable with it but didn't know exactly how to handle it. And then when he was dropping him off, Schlapp reached and grabbed his junk. He grabbed his junk, and dude says it was for an extensive period of time. He didn't know how to handle it. He didn't know what to say. He didn't want it. Afterwards, he texted him and was like, dude, I'm not comfortable with what the fuck just went down. And Schlapp was trying to calm him down and say, are we still on for tomorrow, bro? We still getting together tomorrow? So just unbelievable. Now, there's another part to this story which came out the other day. Marjorie Taylor Greene former intern Milo Yiannopoulos. Here's what he said, quote, Matt Schlapp tried to touch me too at his offices in 2016 and 2017 when we were negotiating my headliner spot at CPAC. I recoiled, made a joke about him being the wrong skin color, and added that if he tried it again, I would slap him and go public. Maybe that had something to do with him colluding to wreck my career. I don't know. Now, Milo's a known liar, so it's hard to really take him at his word. But it does fit the profile of Matt Schlapp, given what we know now, and I bet there's going to be more people that come out. By the way, so he's got Mercedes, his wife, who was a former Trump staffer. She's a massive, anti-gay activist. Of course, Matt Schlapp is the head of CPAC, and CPAC, I think there was a fight recently where, some people did a mutiny because the Log Cabin Republicans, which is the gay Republican group, they were going to speak there, and then you had the social conservatives who were like, hell no, they're not speaking there, and there was an internal fight over it. And so Mercedes has been very involved in anti-gay politics for a while, and, well... One of the reasons might be because her husband is secretly gay. Apparently they have a bunch of kids too. It's some preposterously high number. I forget how many it was. I think it was over 10 kids. And I mean, my question is, dude, how do you have time to be grabbing everybody's dicks? Don't you have a kid to tuck in? Don't you have some chicken nuggies to go make? What are you doing? Where do you get this time? Apparently his hobby is just grabbing dicks. Oh, God, it's so great. You know damn well that after, Schlapp dropped dude off who he fucking fondled against his will, he turned the corner in his car and, beat off in a parking lot. Oh. I'm always amazed, man. I'm always amazed at, how brazen a lot of these people are, I guess they just, when you have power... they got used to abusing it. He probably thought this would never come out. And the other thing is, I'm sure, like many of the other anti-gay folks, he's convinced that everybody has that urge, but, some people fight it off. And he probably, to the extent he ever restrains himself, he thinks like, yes, this is me not sinning. When I give in to these urges, I'm sinning. But like, I hate to tell him, not everybody has these urges. Not everybody is gay. Not everybody is bi. There's many people, the majority of people are heterosexual. They're not attracted to the same sex. But I'm sure he thinks, because there's been really, illuminating moments where some anti-gay politician or preacher says, like, well, everybody struggles with this. It's just a matter of, are you going to fight it and not sin? It's like, you guys really don't get this. You guys are really telling on yourselves here. Now, by the way, another awesome piece of this to show you how the current media environment works. He hasn't even responded to this. In fact, he was at Mar-a-Lago like the day after, hanging out with Jack Posobiec. He took a picture with Jack Posobiec, right-wing commentator, and they were there for some event. And he just kept tweeting through it, never addressed it, just kept with his standard tweets. I mean, and that shows you, like, our media environment. They're at the point now where they'll just dismiss. I think it was the Daily Beast who originally put this out. They just dismiss, like, no, they're liars. So, they've had it out for Republicans for a long time, so I'm just going to ignore what they say. It's really stunning. It's really stunning. I 100% believe it, and I'm sure there's, like, 14 more dudes who could come out. Some might come out, because if he was grabbing Milo's junk, potentially, he was grabbing this Herschel Walker Staffer's junk, I'm sure he would rarely go 2 or 3 weeks without trying to get a fistful of meat, without trying to, juggle some balls in his hand, What a weird, it's a weird fetish, isn't it? I mean, maybe that's like, he feels like this is all I can get, so that's what he tries for, right? But just like a handful of cock is a weird fetish. Like, I need that fleshy meat pouch, bro. Give me that fleshy meat stick. Give me those ganglies. Let me play with those ganglies, bro. Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm going to cut myself off, because if I keep going, it's just going to get weirder and weirder. I was going to say, the kids have these, those, like, sort of squishy ball things that, like, I don't know how else to describe them. They're usually, like, bright colored, and we have some that are, like, fruit, too. Like, one's a strawberry, one's a banana, and one's, like, a fake orange, and you squeeze it, and, like, sort of like the stuff in it moves to the top and moves to the bottom, and it just feels like a squishy type thing. It's like, that's kind of close to what balls feel like. I'm gonna get myself in trouble here. People are gonna be like, this is like the scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin where he's like, bro, you ever grabbed a tit? Feels like sandbags, bro. And everybody's like, no, that's not what it feels like. Anyway, all right, let's cut this segment off. But Matt Schlapp loves grabbing dongs. It's his favorite pastime. He was called out on it, and nobody's addressed it, but I'd love to see what it's like behind the doors between Mercedes and Matt now. Like, what are those conversations like? Has Mercedes brought it up? Has she deluded herself into or does she already know? That's what we learned with Adam Levine, with him, like, cheating on his wife, and the wife didn't say shit afterwards, and it was one of those things where maybe his wife fucking knows. She's just like, oh, this is what it is. What am I going to do? So, I don't know, but I'd love to get a comprehensive list of all these anti-gay folks who end up secretly yearning for dicks. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.